Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the Managing Director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're discussing masks, not exactly my favorite topic in the world. Got to thinking about this when reading a recent article from ASEAN Now, ASEANnow.com. Article is titled, Face Masks to be Still Needed in Thailand Even After the Emergency, said Minister Anutin this week. Interesting that the emergency could end, but yet masks must remain indefinitely. What kind of sense does that make? Anyway, quoting further, ministers still on a mission about face masks. A key committee within the Ministry of Public Health is looking to make sure that the public, including foreign tourists, continues to wear face masks even after the virus has been declared endemic in the coming months, which may still include some sort of mandate or legal provision in certain circumstances. I love that, mandate or legal provision, because there never has been a legal provision. You know, we're going to make a follow-up video to this one, and I'm going to do a deeper dive into my thoughts on all of this. But a big one, I've seen it bandied about out there. Well, you know, we could pass a law on this. Well, you shouldn't. It's wrong. In my opinion, it would not be correct in any sense. You know, it's a basic human right to breathe unfettered. Period. Quoting further, Thailand's Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of Public Health, Anutin Charnvirakul, has come out strongly this week to insist on the need to make sure that face masks are still worn throughout the kingdom, even after the current emergency comes to an end with endemic status declared. And again, I kind of say, why? What is the purpose of that? Again, in an upcoming video, we're going to deep dive into that pretty heavily. Quoting further, on Thursday, he told reporters that he has asked his officials to find a way to direct the public's behavior in this respect, even if the current health threat itself can be seen as under control for now. You know, one thing, public servants, people that are in the government, the ministers, are there to assist the public, not direct the public's behavior. That's not the purpose. You know, and look, I've been ambivalent about certain aspects of this whole thing, but I have been overall, I think you could say overall, I've been on the positive side with respect to the government's response here in Thailand. I think honestly here lately, in my opinion, things have become less justified under present circumstances than they were before. But, you know, long story short, the purpose of the Minister of Public Health is not to sit around and tell us what to do or what to wear, in my opinion. It's the purpose of that individual is to, you know, try to maintain as much public health as possible. Here's a good question. In the history of time, with all the endemic diseases we deal with on a regular basis, we've never done masking. And here's another question. So why, well, the question posed then is why now? And then the next question is, aren't there possible ramifications to all this masking? People's immune systems are supposed to interact with each other. They're supposed to constantly be moving things between them. So-called herd immunity is created by that. So my question is because there's really not a lot of data out there. In fact, there was a recent Finnish study, I believe, that came out and basically said, yeah, this doesn't do anything. This protocol does not have any appreciable impact. Okay, leaving that aside, so let's just view it as a net neutral, okay? It just does nothing. Could we then maybe, you know, humanity has never walked around this way in history and interacted with each other using masks. Could there be negative ramifications? I'm not saying I know the answer to this, but could there be negative ramifications? Or is there any studies out there wondering about, you know, trying to gain insight into herd immunity for other diseases that may be diminishing as a result of masks? I don't know. I don't know the answers to those questions. But I you know, at this point, especially 2 years in, you know, at the beginning of this, okay, you know, arguments can be made however you want to look at it. I think in hindsight, all of this it's fairly clear that all of this, a lot of this was hysteria, quite frankly. I think the one thing Thailand did well was just sealing up, They did a true quarantine, unlike a lot of other countries, including the United States, which, made a lot of bombastic sort of announcements but didn't do anything in the first few months of this thing. Thailand, when they said, look, we're invoking the emergency decree on this issue and we're just closing down, they did it, and they didn't let Thais back in. I mean, that was a true quarantine, however you want to look at it. What I'm saying is prudence has existed with respect to the government's responses here, but this is, in my opinion, this is ridiculous. The notion that we're just going to have to wear masks in perpetuity, even though there's no outstanding threat, come on. We're people, we're humans, and in Thailand we're free people. The government should not be out there directing the public's behavior to change the way that they breathe.